Hi everybody, happy Sunday. I hope you're having a blessed day today. I know I am. Thank you, Jesus, always on my side, always provides. So what am I gonna do today? Today I'm gonna do wild fork ground beef. What am I gonna do with this ground beef? I'm gonna turn them into Salisbury steaks. With a nice brown gravy going on, a brown mushroom gravy. So I have 2 cans of gravy here. Mushroom gravy. Sorry, I gotta do that. I have mushroom gravy. I have some butter. I have some spinach. I have some fresh garlic and fresh onions and my potatoes. And as you can see, my water's already boiling. So I'm gonna put my potatoes right in there because I want to make some mashed potatoes, some Salisbury steaks, and some cream of spinach. Like one of those TV dinners that are really expensive. Well, I'm gonna do it at home with less preservatives, everything natural, everything delicious. So let's get cooking, okay? Let me wash my hands. Okay, so now that I washed my hands, I have my potatoes boiling. I needed this to boil, and before I make the patties, I'm going to make my cream of spinach first. And the reason why I'm doing that first is because my potato takes so long and this is so quick, and then I could just jump into the Salisbury steak. Okay, for the Salisbury steak, I'm going to be adding a couple little onions, some fresh garlic. I have half a cup of some seasoned breadcrumbs with pecorino romano cheese, and I also have some garlic and herb seasoning, some salt, and some peppercorns. So here we go. Let me turn on the stove. And this is what I want to do for my my cream of spinach. I'm gonna add about a good tablespoon of butter. Okay, let's add some butter to that. Let me put this back in the fridge. It's hot in here. I'm gonna need it anyway. Let me leave it out because I need it for my mashed potatoes. All right, so we have my butter going, and to the butter, I want to add some fresh garlic and some onions. And we're just gonna cook that up a little bit. This is the simplest recipe, guys. I used to love TV dinners when I was a little girl, but my mom didn't like to get, she cooked good food at home, so she didn't want to load me up with junk. But if I could get a box of macaroni and cheese in there occasionally, I could, Ma, she said, eat food, there's food in the house. That never went away, that expression. But she did give me my odds and ends, whatever I wanted from the store, So here we go, we're going to do this. And to that, I'm going to add a little bit of garlic and herb seasonings. Even though I added garlic, just going to lower the heat. I don't want it to burn because this is going to be done really fast. So I'm going to get a little bit of garlic and herbs. Enough of that. And this has no salt. And it has really great ingredients there. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Not too much salt. And the reason why I say not too much salt, because I'm going to add a little bit of cream of spinach. And the cream of mushroom, and this mushroom has salt in it, so that's why I don't want to add too much salt. We're going to be putting all this in, and I forgot to chop it up. I really wanted to chop it up, but let's see what we could do. Let's see, let me get my scissor. Okay, hold on, where's my scissor? Okay, I was using it for something. Give me a second, and I'm just going to give it a quick little rinse. All right, so let's do this. Let's drop that spoon. Okay, now let's mix this up. I don't want it to burn. It's looking really nice. I'm just waiting for it to get a little bit cooked so we don't have no crunchy pieces inside our... I usually like to put some bacon in here. Hold on one second. I'm going to lower this really low. And let me clean my spoon. And let me see what's in the fridge. Someone mentioned bacon. Alright, so you know what? A little bit of bacon will be nice. This is extra, guys. You don't have to do this. Okay, I'm just doing it for taste. because I really want those the spinach to taste really tasty. So good. Okay, so let me just cut this open a little. And I'm just going to put little pieces in here. I'm not going to go too much in, just to give it a little flavor. Okay, so. Okay, hold that there. And like I said, just a couple of little pieces. Because then you have, again, that saltiness from the bacon. But so delicious. I'm just going to chop some of this bacon. I think this is turkey bacon. Alright. Okay, that's good. I'm just going to put this away again. And just the flavor, guys. It's all for flavor. So, let's do this. Get over here. So, I'm not going to cook this up till it's crispy. I'm not going to do that. I just want to cook it up a little bit where it could render some fat. And my steam is too high, too low. Let's bring it up a notch so this can really cook up. And then after this, I'm going to get like half of this, of that can of cream of mushroom. I'm going to add half of it to here. And I think I'll wait. First, I'll add my spinach. And then I'll add my cream of mushroom so I could get it all blended up really good with that. But see, this is all I wanted to do. Just give it a nice little fry. A little bit goes a long way. A little bit of flavor goes a long way, guys. Always remember that. Sometimes less is better. You don't have to overpower and overwhelm the food with so many spices when you're using simple ingredients like spinach. So this is not too overpowering, but I'm making cream of spinach. And you know you want that cream to taste good, right? Alright, so this is about it right there. So like I said, I wanted to chop this up a little bit. Let me see if I could do a little chops in there. Now this automatically is going to start stopping the cooking because, there we go. I want it to be creamy. So I'm just going to cut it up a little bit. Just like that. Don't have to do all of it. You can do some. Look, these big pieces got away from me. Alright. And that's done. Very simple, very delicious. See, now all this is going to cook down. Now you can add more spinach. I use this spinach because this spinach is already starting to wilt on me a little bit. So I didn't want to waste it. So I said cream of spinach sounds like a good idea. So that's what I got here. And there's another piece here, another piece here, throw that in there. And what do I want to add? This is not, okay, this is what I want to add. And I'm not going to use it all, guys. I'm only going to use like half of a can, okay? Because I'm going to throw some water in this. And this is a lot. You know, it seems like a little bit now, but that's okay. Once you put the spinach, I think it needs more spinach. All right, you know, I'm just going to put 2 spoons. 1 and 2. Did you split me? Okay, here we go. Get that in, and I'm just going to get a little bit of water, and I'm going to add this to it. Once I get it all nice and mixed up and incorporated all together, do the happy dance, and definitely lower that heat a little bit. Oof, that's ridiculous. So, okay, here I go. I'm just going to add a little bit of water because it's like 1 part soup, 1 part water, but I don't want a drippy mess, so I'm not going to add a lot. Just a little bit. Okay, that's good. And that was like a little half a cup there. And I used less than half a cup, so half a cup is 4 ounces. I put like 2 ounces. And I'm just going to look and see how that looks. And that's how I want it. Just like that, nice creamy spinach. But you know what, guys? I think it needs more spinach. Hold on 1 second. I thought that would be a good amount, but I think it's a really small amount. So, you know what? I opened up a can of spinach that I had. I wanted to use it fresh, but that's okay. It's just spinach, no other ingredients. So I'm gonna add that in there. Really nice. Now it's coming together. Look at that. Look at that bunch of beautiness. Let me just raise the heat because this is done, guys. All it needs is a little bit of mixing. And I'm thinking since I added that whole can, that maybe I'll just add a little bit more of this. Not a lot, just a little bit. I would say about another tablespoon. Like that, another tablespoon to that. And of course I'm gonna go get some water. Only because I want this cream. This is cream of spinach. So it's all creamed up kind of now, but it needs a little bit of water. The same water that I said that I used half a cup. This is the other half. So I added 3 ounces. That should be enough, 3 ounces of water. And look how beautiful that spinach came out. Awesome. So now we can move on to the next dish because I know my potatoes are not cooked yet. So I just want to make sure that I have all that blended in. I'm just going to give it another minute. See how quick this is? This took less than 5 minutes to make this. And you can do it either with the frozen or the can. It'll come out the same as long as you add the cream of mushroom in it. So guys, this is ready. I don't have to do anything else to this. Alright, so that's good. I'm going to taste it. Perfect. So perfect. I'm just going to push it over here to this side and I'm going to lower that heat a little bit. And what I want to do next is, let me just wash my hands. Okay, so the next step. Now it's time for the ground beef. Okay, so I'm using Wild Fork. I love Wild Fork beefs. This is Wild Fork, 100% pure beef. Pure ground beef is 73% lean. And that's what it is. Just basically beef. And I'm going to make some Salisbury steaks with this. Alright, so, and I'm going to save some because I really want to make a lasagna. So I'm going to save some of this. Yeah, look at the green. Okay, so I'm going to use about, let's see. This is how many pounds? This was 3 pounds. So I guess I'm going to use 1.5. Or maybe a little bit more. I say about 2 pounds. I'll just say this because I know I'm going to buy more ground beef later on. But for now, I think that's plenty. And I'm just going to stick this back into the ice box for when I need it again. Hold on 1 second. I'm just flattening it. I was going to put it the long way, but since it's a little bit defrosted, it still has chunks that it has not been defrosted. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do like this to make it flat. So next time I defrost it, it won't take that long. So I'm just going to put that in there like that. I'm not going to wash my hands. And look, this is what I was saying. It's still frozen in the middle. As you can see, got to break this down. So it's not going to take too long to break it down. I should have gotten a bigger bowl. What do you think? I should have gotten a bigger bowl? All right, let me see. Probably not. All right, guys, so what am I going to do? I'm going to take a little bit of garlic and then the herb, and this has no salt, so I just want it to taste good. And I'm going to put in like less than half a cup, because that's not even a cup. That's a cup, and I just filled it half, so less than half a cup. And I forgot to put some pepper. I forgot pepper inside my my ground spinach. I'll just do it later on. So right now I added all those ingredients, and I'm just going to give this a quick little mix. Mix all up. And I'm just going to add a nice little handful of these onions on there, so they can bring out more flavors in the meat. And I think it needs a little bit more seasoning, so I don't think I put enough. I'm going to go get some paprika. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to put a little bit more of the seasoning. This is just regular garlic and herb. I gotta rinse those jars. Let me get my paprika a little bit. Okay, so I have a little bit of, let me dry my hands because they're all wet. Okay, so I have a little bit of garlic powder. I'm gonna put some garlic powder in there. That's enough. I'm gonna add some peppercorns. Let me crack this corn. Let me crack these peppercorns. Okay, that's good enough. And I'm gonna add just a little bit of paprika. A little bit. Okay, that's good. Because it's kind of spicy. I don't know why, but it is spicy. So, okay, now that I have all these ingredients all nice and mixed, I'm not gonna add egg because I want it beefy. And I just added the breadcrumbs because they have a nice pecorino romano cheese in them, and that'll give this an extra little better. Okay, so just want to make sure that I get everything incorporated, so I'm just going to make a big bowl. Okay, I flatten it. Okay, I'm sure all that's incorporated. Everything is mixed in there really, really nicely. All right, so let me wash my hands, and I don't know why, because I needed to get my pot. Hold on. Okay, so I got my pot right here, and I'm gonna have to move those potatoes over. Let me wash my hands. Okay, I don't need this. Let me just wash my hands one more time. Okay, these cute little towels, they're so nice and soft. And it keeps them from reaching for paper towels and wasting paper. Okay, here we go. So I have my pan here, and what I want to do is I'm gonna add this little bit of garlic. Where's my spoon? Okay, I'm gonna add this little bit of garlic and onion right to here, so it could start seasoning up that meat when it's and I'm gonna add a little butter. It starts seasoning up the meat sauce, or rather the meat. Then I'm gonna use some sauce eventually for this. Where's my spoon? All right, about that much. That should do it. Like I said, I'm making a Salisbury steak. All right, so I'm just gonna leave that there. Let this butter melt. And there's some garlic in here too. Got some garlic stuck. All right. This is good. This is good, guys. All right, so like I said, I'm just like seasoning the pan before I add in my patties. So I got the heat nice and high, and that one is hogging up the stove. Did you hear the doorbell? I thought I heard the doorbell. Okay, see? Seasoning the pan. That's all I did, with a little bit of garlic, fresh garlic, and fresh little onions. Okay, so I season the pan. Let's start our Salisbury steaks. And what you want to do is you want to grab a nice little bowl. About like that, like the size of a meatball. Okay? And like the size of a nice large meatball. Okay, that's a big meatball. So what you want to do is you want to roll it this way. Roll it until it looks like a little log. Okay, I think that's a good size. And then when you see that it's a log, I want you to press it out a little bit. Remember, these little things are going to shrink, so the longer you make it, the better. So I'm going to put that right there, and I'm going to lower this heat because it's too high. Again, you grab another meatball size, like a large meatball, make it into a meatball. I'll turn this side here. I'll turn it into a meatball, and then you turn it into a log. I can already smell it, guys. It smells really good. All right, turn into a log. Because that's how like a Salisbury steak patty should look like. So, see, just do this. have a few logs to make, so I'm going to make some more logs and I'll be back. Hi everybody, I'm back and I got tools. Okay, so you can see all my little patties are all in there real nice. And they're almost cooked. I haven't flipped them yet because I just made them all. So this is what it looks like. And you just want to cook up those little Salisbury steak patties there. And I'm going to shut the back stove off because my potatoes are done. So I'm going to take my potatoes and I'm going to put them right in this bowl because this is where I'm going to mash them at. So put them right on in there. I love fresh mashed potatoes. I like to put a little bit of mayonnaise on it, but my son doesn't like it, but that's not a problem. You know, it's not a problem. I'll put it on after. No big deal, right? Okay, so I think I got all of them. Hello? Any more? Okay. All right, I'm good. So I'll just put that over there, and I'm going to flip this around. And there aren't any more floaters in there. Okay, so I got my mashed potatoes there, and I'm going to get my butter because I said I needed it again. So let me get a spoon. I forgot where I put the spoon. Okay. So we're gonna get some spoon of butter, and I'm just gonna put like 3 tablespoons, 2, and a little more, and that's good, just like that. I'm going to leave that right there so it can melt. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Not a lot, guys. A little bit of salt. Okay, that's good. I could put these away. And let's see. I'm going to flip these little buns. These little steak patties. I think they're going to be the Salisbury steaks. Ah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That one turned so tiny. But you know, they shrink. If you want to make them bigger, you can make them bigger. I like them like this because they cook faster and they absorb more flavor. So I'm going to have to take out the oil in a few minutes because I'm not about to use all that oil. Okay, that's oil from the meat and I'm not going to use it all. I'll use a little bit because I need it to make my cream of mushroom. That's what makes it a Salisbury steak. You're supposed to use beef gravy, but I'm sure it's going to turn like a nice little brown. You'll see when it's done. Alright, so let's take this spoon out. And I'm going to start mashing away. Okay, my hands are slippery. And this cabinet is not as sturdy. So I can't put too much pressure on it. It's for showing, not for using. Okay, I'm kidding, guys. Alright. So, use the other hand now. Okay. No, don't fall. Alright, you get the concept. They're really, really good. They're not mashed all the way. I'm going to get some mussels over here to come and mash them so they're nice and smooth. And I'm going to drain this thing right here. So good. Perfect. Just perfect. Alright. Really, really good. Nice and healthy. So like I said, I want to drain this. I'm going to go drain a little bit of this. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. That just has a little bit too much. Now I got the whole pan back. Now I got the whole pan back, see? I left a little bit. And a little bit is okay. So this meat is almost done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my can of mushroom mix. Okay, I'm going to grab my can. And I think I should dilute it with water. But you know what? Yeah, I think I should dilute it. I'm going to dilute it with some water. Actually, I have an idea. Where's my cup? My measuring cup. Okay, so this is the measuring cup. This is all my potato water. So I need a handle. I need to get a handle on things, guys. Alright. So my same potato water, that's what I'm gonna use. Why won't this open? Okay. A little spoon of, you know what? I'm gonna show you something real quick. Okay, I left about that much water. See that? That's pretty good right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my mixture right in here. That way I have it mixed with a little bit of water. And this is good there. Okay, I'm gonna mix it up. I just want to get all that mixed and not have any little lumps. No lumps. And this is really, really super done. I'm gonna have to lower the heat on this. Look how high that is. All right, there. Lower the heat a little. And let me just mix this. It still has a lot of little lumps. Hold on. I'm gonna beat that till it's smooth. I'm looking for my whisk. Where's my whisk? We'll take the last little bit. Okay. Now, it looks like it's a little dry, but guys, it's gonna get rehydrated once I put my gravy in there. There you go. All I want to do to add to my gravy is a little bit of seasonings. Okay, just a little. Okay, about that much. See? So it looks like that. And I'm just gonna add it right here now. Okay, there we go. Just gonna leave that right there. And I'm gonna get rid of all this. Wash my hands. Oh, look at that. That's looking really, really good, guys. So I'm just gonna give them a little flip. And I'm gonna let this sit here for about 5 minutes, just so they can get like rehydrated with this broth, this delicious broth. Okay, flip all these babies. I think I flipped them all. Did I miss any? I don't know, but you get the concept, right? You get the idea. I'm gonna flip them again in another 3 minutes. I'm just gonna let them cook right there. And I get some potato. No, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Hi everybody, I'm back and my dinner's ready. There goes my cream of spinach, and right here's my beautiful popcorn. I was gonna say popcorn. And here goes my beautiful mashed potatoes with butter. And look, see how nice and thick that got? I had it cooking like for about a good 4 or 5 minutes, you know, just so I could absorb it and make this nice little thick gravy that it has now. So I'm about to shut this off because dinner's ready and I am hungry. Very hungry, guys. So let's show you how I dish this up. Leave that there, it's fine. Let me show you how I dish this up. So I'm gonna grab some of my potatoes. Gonna put a nice little mound right there. Oops. Okay, here we go. I don't want to leave cake. Okay, here we go. So I have some mashed potatoes and I'm just gonna use the same spoon. No big deal, it's not a problem. So I have my mashed potatoes and I'm just gonna grab some of these patties. Let me just grab this patty right here. And I'm gonna grab this one here. Look at that, delicious. And we put some sauce on top. And you can put some sauce on the mashed potatoes. That looks really nice. Make a little hole there. Yes, just like that. And then I'm gonna grab my cream of spinach and I'm gonna put a nice little pile right here. And you can see the little bacon pieces in there. See? This is my dinner. I hope you like this recipe and I hope you make it for your family. I know your family's gonna love it. Share it to your friends. Make it at cookouts. I hope you all have a blessed Sunday today. And if you like my video, give me a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And don't forget to share. Bye guys. Look how delicious that looks. So delicious. Salisbury steak. Bye guys. Oops, too dark. Look at that, beautiful. All right guys, bye.